Hey guys, this is JP's LEGO Reviews. Today, I'm going to go through my LEGO Vehicle Christmas Guide for 2023. We'll look at the budget, medium, large and gigantic vehicles that you can choose to buy this holiday season. So, let's break it down. Now, firstly, when it comes to budget sets, the first budget set we have here is the Lamborghini Countach, selling for 33 Australian dollars or 20 US dollars. Now, what's so great about this set? Well, firstly, what makes this set so good is firstly, it's a decent value for money, and more importantly, the car is quite realistic compared to the real Lamborghini Countach, because LEGO have mastered the ability to make the angularness needed for a Lamborghini Countach, not exactly at 90-degree angles, but maybe 45, 60 degrees, etc., to create the set in such a way where it looks very close to the real Lamborghini Countach. Also comes with a minifigure, but most minifigures in Speed Champions are sort of like, who cares? You're paying for the car. But when it comes to the car itself, it looks really good, and it actually has quite a bit of detail, as well as just being shaped correctly, which is quite good for this set. But the next set that I recommend, if you're not a fan of a Lamborghini Countach, or if you're not necessarily a fan of, well, yeah, the Lamborghini Countach really, is the Aston Martin DB5, selling for the same price of 33 Australian dollars or 20 US dollars. Now, what's the selling point of this car? Well, firstly, it's an Aston Martin DB5 and it looks right. What do I mean by that? Well, the Aston Martin DB5 is quite curved. Not necessarily all the way, but it does have curvature to make it more aerodynamic, and this set actually includes some of that curvature in it, making it look quite similar to a DB5. Also, the engine hood area is slanted, which again looks like the DB5, and LEGO have also been able to include other details suggesting it's not just a DB5, but it's James Bond's DB5. And what I appreciate even more in this set is that James Bond is included. And considering the size of the car and the building experience you get, it's a decent value for money. But now, let's move on to the final car in the budget category, which is the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger, selling for the same price set again of 33 Australian dollars or 20 US dollars. Now, this set is recommended for those aged 8 and up, but the main thing about this set is it looks good, firstly, because it looks like a Dodge Charger, but more importantly, it's actually a very good value for money. The reason why is because it has 350 pieces and it's around 20% bigger than the Lamborghini or the Aston Martin, yet LEGO sell it at the same price. I also appreciate how detailed this set is, having all the key Dodge Charger details, and what's nice to see is that a Dom Toretto minifigure has been included in this Dodge Charger set as well. And now, let's move on to the medium-sized set. Now, the medium-sized set that you should buy, or really consider in these holiday period first, is the McLaren Senna GTR, costing 90 Australian dollars or 50 US dollars. Now, what's so great about the McLaren Senna? Well, there are mainly two different things. Firstly, it actually looks really good for a LEGO Technic set, and it's a LEGO Technic set where actually having more stickers actually helps its appearance, which is kind of strange. But the other thing is you get quite a bit of functionality in this vehicle. Obviously you can steer it, but it also has scissor doors, not regular doors, and it has pistons, which is quite difficult, I'd say, to implement in a set of this size. Also, it's quite large, and it's actually, funnily enough, similarly sized to Creator Expert vehicles, even though they cost half as much, which shows that they are decent value for money as well. And talking about LEGO Technic sets, the next set that I recommend is the Lamborghini Huracan Technica. Now, costing 85 Australian dollars or 50 US dollars, it's basically the same as the McLaren. It's the same idea, same concept, except it's a different vehicle. Now, the green is a very good colour choice, and it reminds me of the Lamborghini Sian, except that costs 700 Australian dollars or roughly 450 USD. But this set costs, well, 85 Australian or 50 US, And what I like about this set is it relatively does the same things, has the pistons, scissor doors, steering, but it's also a really nice set to look at. Like, it's one of the better looking LEGO Technic sets that they sell, period. It just looks really complete and good, considering that they're using LEGO Technic parts and not system parts. But let's move on to large sets. Now, the first large set that I would recommend is the Ford GT, coming at 200 Australian dollars or 120 US dollars. Now, what are some good things about this set? Well, firstly, it looks great. It's a good looking LEGO set and it looks really good on display. Secondly, the good thing about the Ford GT is it comes with quite a lot of functionality. It comes with the same sort of functions that you've seen in the other two sets, except it makes it bigger, and it also gives you a better building experience too, since you're building a larger vehicle, and it makes it feel like a complete experience, like you're not missing out on anything. And the main advantage to this Ford GT is that LEGO have released a lot of sets that are similar to this, like for example the Peugeot in 2023, except it has the same functions, but it's $100 more. You're paying $100 more, but you're getting the same rough experience. And a lot of these sets that LEGO sell are overpriced with that experience. But with this set, you still get to experience that sort of experience at a cheaper price. And in my market, where you can buy it on discount, it's an even better deal. But the next car, or next vehicle that I would recommend is the Ford Mustang. Now, this is a system built set. It uses system parts, not Technic, and it looks fantastic. Now, the price isn't fantastic at 250 Australian dollars or 170 US dollars, but that's also due to the fact that LEGO increased the prices in 2021 just because I believe they wanted to make more profit of it. Now, you can actually change the look of it from just a street going Mustang to one that you'd see on the drag strip. Also, you can actually steer the Mustang. You can adjust the suspension on the back, and obviously have a bunch of other things that you can do with it as well. And even though it's a system set, it has quite a lot you can do with it, and it eerily comes close to the LEGO Technic sets. All it needs is pistons, and practically it does what the LEGO Technic sets do, except looking far better at it. And it's an awesome set. Now, the next set I recommend is the Chevy Camaro. Now, coming again at 250 Australian dollars or 170 US dollars, it offers the same sort of experience as the Mustang, except it doesn't have suspension and you can't necessarily change the look as much, but it steers. It looks fantastic. It's super realistic, and the shaping here is just well done. And you can actually change the stripe color. So right now you can see it's like a dark gray. You can change it either to white or red if you want to. And this set again gives you options with the way that you want your LEGO set to look like, to make it really feel like it's your build instead of just a one package only solution made by LEGO. And the final set in this category that I would recommend is the Transformers Optimus Prime, coming at 280 Australian dollars or 180 US dollars. Now, yes, it's an expensive set, but it's worth the money. Here's why. It's a 2-in-1. Now, this is based off the Transformers movie, and Optimus Prime is a robot character. But what makes this such a great set is the fact that it actually transforms between robot form and truck form. And the robot form of Optimus Prime looks really good, but actually the truck version of him looks just as good too. And considering the fact that it's LEGO's first Transformers set, and Transformers would be quite difficult to create simply because you keep having to change the way it looks, and you have to switch between robot and a truck or vehicle because that's what Transformers do, they transform. And also with the fact that it's complicated and you're actually getting two sets in one, this is a set that you can justify at its slightly too high of a price. But I have seen it in my market at least on some form of discount, and if you can get a discount on this set, I would highly recommend getting this set. Now, finally, let's talk about gigantic sets. Now, the first gigantic set that you should consider is the Concorde. Now, yes, it's an aircraft, but it has wheels and it's a vehicle, coming in at 300 Australian dollars or 200 US dollars. Now, This vehicle truly is gigantic. The Concorde set itself is over 1 meter long, or over 3 feet long if you're in the US, and that's just massive. And that's the size of the actual LEGO set. The Concorde itself is a really fascinating aircraft because it's the first commercial aircraft that can go supersonic, going past the speed of sound, and it just looks great. It's a great set to display, and it's something really unique that LEGO should definitely be making more of. And apart from that, it's just a really displayable, good aircraft, and it's a good vehicle too. But now, finally, the last set that I would recommend as a great vehicle that you should get in this holiday season is the McLaren F1 set, coming in at also 300 Australian dollars or 200 US dollars. Now, when you build this set, it's actually really large. Now, if you have the very expensive sports cars like the Bugatti Chiron or the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, this set is actually wider and longer than both of them. Not combined, but if you put it next to each other, the McLaren actually looks bigger. So it's decent value for money. But the McLaren, once you look at it, it does get a bit thin because it's a Formula 1 car. There's a lot of holes, a lot of gaps in its design, and also it's very low to the ground because it's a Formula 1 car. Firstly, I really like the way that the orange and the blue colours pop on the McLaren. It's a great colour choice. Also, they chose a team that I don't think is super controversial, so most Formula 1 fans, if you are one, would probably appreciate a set like this, and it just looks fantastic. There's nothing wrong aesthetically with this LEGO set, and it has functionality. It has pistons, steering, and all other functions that you'd want it to do. But it's also a great display set as well, and it just looks like a really good Formula 1 car. And yeah, it's just a great set, and especially considering the fact that you can buy this oftentimes at 20+% off, it's an even better deal. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day and keep building.